Good morning. We are going to keep working on this tractor here a little bit this morning. Mostly, I just want to get those weights off of the suitcase weights, and then the ones off the rear axle. So I'm going to just pull the tractor ahead a little bit so I got more room to work behind it. It would be good to get it turned around, but I'd have to go outside for that, and I don't think it's necessary. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. Then we'll get a forklift and a pallet so we can set them weights on it. We'll make it a little bit easier. All right, I'm about ready to get these weights off. Here's, forklift, pallet, put the weights on there. They are held on with this bolt that goes through them. Oops, wrong way. So take that off, and I'll show you how that connects. There's a bolt that goes through from both ways, and it clamps them to the center. But yeah, now we just pick them off of there and put them on this pallet. Okay, so there are, I believe, 20 weights on here. They weigh 105 pounds a piece. They're heavy. But basically, you just start on one end. Lift them off of there. There is a tab in the center, so you can't, they lock together. You can't just pull one out of the middle. So you do have to start on an end and work your way across. It's a lot easier when you get away from these other bars, but they're heavy. It's my farmer workout routine. I don't have to work out today because I'm doing this. So those bolts that I took out, I don't know if you can see it, but right here, there's a piece that goes in there. This piece, it's got nuts on it. You slide it in there and the bolt goes through these holes and into that nut, and that's what draws them in, pinches them together so that it holds them on there tightly. Okay, that's half. I'm gonna take the forklift, set this pallet down, grab it from the other side so that I can turn it around, and I want to put the weights, the other half, over on this corner, but I don't want to have to lift them over these other ones, so that'll make that easier. Okay, the other thing that I need to do is this bolt on the front that holds them in place. It won't come out because it's hitting this bracket on this step. So there are 4 bolts that kind of hold that in place. If I just loosen them up, I can wiggle it enough to get that bolt out of there. But I have to get it out because I have to start on this one on this side, and that bolt clearly won't let me take that weight off. Farmer workouts. Moving 100-pound weights. Even one-handed when I'm videoing it. Last one. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it clear up there with one hand. Okay, there's a little over 2,000 pounds of weight off the center of the rear axle on this tractor. That is a good thing. That will help. We're gonna do some more. So for right now, I'm just gonna set these weights off to the side here. Eventually I'll move them out to the barn out back or something, get them out of our way, but it's raining outside and I don't wanna go out there right now. With the forklift at least. Okay, next we're gonna take off a couple of these donut weights off the outer side of the axle. They look like they're really hard to do, but they're actually not. These are pretty easy. They do weigh about 450 pounds a piece. We're going to take 2 of them together, so about 900 pounds, but it's really 3 bolts. This one here, and one down here, and one over there. And we just stick the forks together on the forklift in there and loosen the bolts up, and they slide right out. It's pretty easy. See, that was easy. These 3 bolts just kind of float in here. They won't come out because there's not enough room on the backside. I'm not going to take that last one out because that one kind of holds the starter weight on. The bolts actually go right through, through into there, into the dirt. See, that's one of them right there. Anyway, so that one stays. I just take off the ones that are easy to do. We got to do the other side though. So in order to get the forklift in on this side, I'm going to need a little bit more room, so I got to get in the cab and kind of back the tractor up and try and wiggle it over that way and get it angled just right so I can have a little more room. Okay, that should work. Well, I'm using my fancy new camera mount for my phone, and you're clear up on the top of the forklift mast and looking down on me, so we'll see if you can see anything from there or not. I don't know. All right, well, see, I told you that was easy. So that side's done too. Plus now it's easier to clean up them rims. We'll get these moved out of here sometime when it's decent outside and we can go out and around, and probably when we're moving other stuff anyway. Outside of that, I guess I don't know what else I'm going to do to this tractor today, but I am going to go sell some seed stuff. It's about 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go out and work on that for a while here. If I come back this afternoon and I got some time yet, we'll find something else to do here. Okay, before I take off here this morning, I wanted to take a second and address some of the comments that I've been getting on the videos or answer your questions and stuff. First one, some of you will notice this tractor does not have a 3-point hitch like our other ones did. That's basically because there's no jobs that this tractor would do that we would need a 3-point hitch for. It's about a $15,000 option to add it from the factory when you buy the tractor, and so we don't have one. It does have provision for it. That's what these hooks and stuff here are for. You can get one. We just, on a high horsepower tractor like this one, we don't need it. You'll also notice it does not have a PTO shaft. Again, this is a tillage tractor. It pulls chisel plows and field cultivators and stuff. None of that stuff has a PTO. There would be a situation where you could pull a grain cart with a tractor of this size, in which case you would need a PTO, but we don't. It's not something we would use this tractor for, so we didn't get one. Again, it's a $15,000, $20,000 option. Another thing, I appreciate you guys' concern about my safety. You're right, I probably should do some stuff better, like not standing on the forks fixing lights over there. Sometimes you just do things in a hurry, and I know, I get it. But moving those weights that I just did was a lot more dangerous than fixing that lights, and I don't know how to make it any safer, so it is what it is. What else was I going to address? There's another comment. Oh yeah, somebody was asking about weights and how much weight is on this tractor and why would we take it off, which I guess I just showed you we took it off, but I didn't tell you really why. So first of all, we use the weights as ballast, right? It's in order to help this tractor maintain traction, especially in the heavy tillage stuff. You got to have weight to keep the tires on the ground so that they don't just sit there and spin. This tractor has a lot of weights on it. You'll notice inside the rear tires, those weights there weigh 8 1,800 pounds, I think. There's one of those on all 4 corners. Inside of all 4 tires, we have an 1,800 pound donut weight. And then on the outside, on the rears, there's a small one in here. It weighs 165 pounds, one on each side. And then we have this 450 pounder plus the ones that we took off. So right now, let's see, we've got 1,800 times 4 would be 36. That's 7,200 pounds, plus another 900 for those 2 donuts, plus another 165 times 2. Yeah, so you guys can do the math on that. There's a lot of weight on here. The weights that are sitting over there that we took off are almost 2,000 pounds. I think there's like 2,100 in those suitcase weights, plus 900, 1,800 for the 2 the donuts that we put on each outside. So that'd be almost 2,000 pounds, 4,000 pounds, excuse me, of weight that we add and take off. Now, why do we do that? Well, basically because in the spring, we're very worried about compaction. We want to be as light as possible to get across those fields because we're not doing deep tillage, so we're not digging very deep. We're just trying to smooth the ground off, create a nice, loose, even, level seed bed for us to plant corn or beans or whatever into. We're also pulling either our field cultivator or our disc. They're big, wide implements that don't take a ton of traction and power to pull. And so traction is not our limiting factor. So we don't need the weight to maintain that traction, which is why we take it off. Keep the tractor light and as light as possible at least, and float across the ground. Now, in the fall, when we're doing our primary tillage with that disc ripper or our chisel plow or whatever else, those implements are not as wide. They pull deep into the ground, 6, 8, 10 inches deep, and they take a lot of power and traction to be able to make them work right. That's why we add those weights, because we need that extra traction and weight in the fall. I'm not as concerned with compaction in the fall, although it is still a big deal. But generally, whatever tool that we are pulling behind the tractor is taking that compaction out. That's what it's designed to do. And so it's important that we be able to have enough weight to get the tires to bite into the ground, keep the tractor moving forward. So that's why we do it. It is a lot of work. I know a lot of people wouldn't take these weights on and off, especially them suitcase weights. We tried to run in the fall without those suitcase weights. We just get too much power hop and too much slip and stuff, and it doesn't pull it quite right. Those weights make a big difference. So that's why we've got them. That's why we do it. And I hope that answers some of your questions. If you got any more stuff, leave them in the comments below. I will be sure and answer them either in the comments or in future videos. Okay, guys, I'm back from seed stuff. I have been for a while. Been working on some computer issues. We learned a little valuable lesson about how easy it is to get scammed by computer scammers here today. But other than that, that's the end of today's video. So thanks for watching this week. Next week, we've got a few other things going on. I've got judged some FFA contests and a couple of meetings and stuff to go to. So I'll be kind of getting some stuff done, kind of not. I'm hoping to get that motor back for the power washer first of the week so we can get to cleaning on this tractor. Other than that, I don't know what all else we got going on next week, but I'm sure we'll find something to do. So thanks for tagging along this week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Comments, questions below. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you next week.